Welcome to my cake kitchen. If we're meeting for the first time, hello there. My name is Gladys. I am a baker and cake artist, and over here I make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate cake decorating easily. And today we are making simple banana chocolate oat muffins. Right now, if you've been here before, I am a full gluten baker. I don't delve into the non-gluten stuff, but I have an issue developing in my life and I am tempted to try some gluten-free oats muffins, right? So that's what we're going to be doing today. It is my first recipe and my first try at this kind of recipe. So like most of you who have started baking, and sometimes the temptation is to pick up a new recipe online that you're not sure where to start, we're going to try this. If it fails, great. That would be great results, because you know what, we will learn better and not do that for next time. But if it turns out great, oh, that's all on me. So welcome to the channel, and today we're just going to be delving straight in. I'm working on very limited time, but the channel is popular for bringing you very in-depth baking tutorials from start to finish, where you will see me start a whole baking process, talking you through all the ingredients and all that is necessary that you need to know, which is kind of like a baking resource for you to take with you into your own home kitchen. So I'm gonna turn my oven on to 180 degrees C, which I will turn down. The ingredients for this recipe includes, I'll put the proper description and details in the description box later. Let's dive straight into this. Right, we're doing this with a simple hand mixer. We have a hand mixer. So if you're a baker and you do not have all the necessary tools to undertake baking, look, all you need is a hand mixer. A hand mixer, you can get one on a very affordable price. I've actually updated some of this information on my Amazon shop front, a link of which is in my description box. In the meantime, we're going to be doing this using a hand mixer. So I am going to plug my hand mixer in, but I should say I am not a fan favorite of a hand mixer simply because the speed is hard to control. But if you're just starting baking, look, it's a great way to start doing what you need to do. So please go ahead. For our ingredients, right, we have a one pot method, if you like. It's supposed to be one pot, but because I am having to measure the ingredients and everything, we have a few here, but hey, you know what I'm saying. Right, so the good thing about this recipe is we're not using wheat flour, we're using oats flour. And the oat flour, thank you Phyllis, thank you darling. The oat flour I milled myself, so I became a traditional person, and today I decided to mill my own oats flour, which is here. I milled it from quick oats that I had. Actually, I buy oats and I tell myself I'm going to be healthy, I'm going to eat breakfast in the morning, and then breakfast comes and I'm not a breakfast person. And if you actually want to get me on a breakfast, get me a hot croissant, okay? Not that you asked, but that is just by the way. We're going to start this. We don't have sugar in this recipe. We have dark maple syrup, which is what's going to be our sugar, and then some banana to bring some sweetness to it. I have some yogurt, we have vanilla here, I have some eggs, and of course we have the oat flour that is mixed with cocoa powder. I'll leave exact descriptions in the description box for later. In the meantime, we're going to start with our eggs, which is going in here, and I am going to split that quickly. And now I'm just doing that to kind of aerate it a little bit. I am just mixing this to aerate the eggs a little bit, because if we had sugar, that would help form the base for the structure of the cake. But of course we don't have sugar here. Now that goes in maple syrup, and we have our yogurt, which is sort of the, what would you call this, the liquid ingredients. Do you know sugar is considered a liquid ingredient because of its moisture quality to the cake? So I'm just, you can do this with a spatula. It's fairly simple. So I've just whipped that in to sort of homogenize the mixture here for me. And with all that mixed together, I have butter, melted butter. It's just normal butter that I have melted. You can make this from brown butter also by caramelizing the butter over heat. It brings an exact nice flavor to your cake if you like. But there we are. And with that done, this is the oats flour. It has a pinch of salt and baking powder. It has a pinch of salt and cocoa powder in there mixed together. Like I said, it's a new recipe, so the details I don't have on top of my head, so I'll leave all the information about that in the description box. Into that I have added just half a teaspoonful of baking soda and 3/4 of a teaspoonful of baking powder. That should help with the rise of the cake. I don't know why I forgot to put that in earlier, but I've added that now. So there you have it. I'm going to mix that together. And actually, I should say, why am I being so clumsy? Okay, so we are mixing all of that together. Now there is a way I would have loved to do this if you like, but because it's a new recipe, I don't know. I wanted to add some more things like chocolate chips on the top and make it all nice, but it's a new recipe. So when you're trying something new, you don't want to be that person who throws in a lot of things because you don't know how it will work out. I have never baked with oats, but from the research I find that there are great results to get out of using oats. So I mean, this at best will be a simple banana and oats muffin, cupcake, whatever. The difference between muffin and cupcakes is the moisture element and also the fat in it. Cupcakes are a little more tender because they take the form of cake, whilst muffins are a little denser. I find the butter here is a little bit dense, but I don't know if that is what it's supposed to be like. So we will see. I am tempted to add a little bit of milk in there. A tablespoonful of milk just to kind of even it out. And that is just it. So I'm going to mix that in. And we are going to distribute this nicely into there. I don't mind if these are a little bit denser or overworked a little bit more than they should, and that is simply because this is oats flour and it's a muffin. We don't measure vanilla over here, but hey, I'll leave the right measurements down in the description box when I come to it, so never you mind. Vanilla is to a cake as what do you call it? Mayo is to a burger. And with that, a scoop in here. I can see bits because I milled the oats myself. I can see bits in there. I don't know how I feel about that. And I don't know if this little guy is going to like that very much, but hey, it's neither here nor there. Let's just get to it. The butter is also a little bit thicker than I would have wanted, but like I said, if it all goes wrong, at least we know this recipe isn't a great one. And then you get to also see, as a complete beginner, what it is like for you to source a recipe online that you can find either reliable or not. In fact, I develop my own recipes, but where I have had to use a different recipe, I will tell you all about it. Except this one, I basically just sourced on, I can't even remember. And then I wrote it down and I scaled the ingredient quantities. So, and I hadn't taken time. I mean, as a beginner, some of the few tips you should consider when you source a recipe is to take time, read and understand the recipe. You know, you've read, but reading and understanding is another thing, because there are some specific details along the process, as in the making process, that you would need to look closely at and follow for best results. And sometimes just glancing or like skimming through the information isn't very useful. And I say that to say I have just skimmed through the information, so by default I don't even know what I'm doing to start with. Okay, so if we get this right, hey, it means the only thing I brought to the table today is my experience of baking over the years, which means I know how to put a batter together, but it doesn't necessarily mean I know everything. Okay, so I hope that is helpful in some way and helps you to have a bit of confidence and to be easy on yourself when you are in your own baking kitchen. In the meantime, if you're joining me in the chat, where are you joining me from and which part of our world are you? I am baking right here from my UK based home kitchen. Now, with all that said and done, I think we have exactly 15 cupcakes here. They are all distributed evenly. We're going to pop them in the oven. They should bake between 18 to 22 minutes in between there. So let's just dip this in quickly. We'll wipe our worktop and we'll come back. Let's have a look in here and see. I'm the sort of baker who does it, who goes and then opens my oven. So let's see. Oh, okay. Super impressed. Okay. Wow. Okay, you know what they say, stick that in and if it comes out, yep, it's come out with just a small crumb. So this baked exactly 22 minutes. I told you the time was 18 to 22 minutes and we baked. And you see, that is the goal for these recipes. When I undertake the live, it is for you to see the recipe and for you to see how the results come out. I mean, I told you I have never baked an oats muffin before. I don't have no clue how these things work. And then I put the recipe together. Okay. Moment of truth. It is not super sweet. It is not super sweet at all.